So how did ConvergeCon come about? I'm here with Kale from ConvergeCon.Ca, and I'm Cathy from the IntimacyDojo.com. Kale, how did you come up with the idea of ConvergeCon?
It actually started for me when I heard on Tristan Taormino's podcast, Sex Out Loud. I heard about ConvergeCon.
Yeah.
That was maybe three or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh wow, I've never heard of anything like that. I really want to go to it. And I went, and sort of the first time I went, I thought, wow, this is amazing. I wish we had something like this. And then the second time I went, I thought, wow, we really need something like this. And then the third time I was like, I'm going to do this.
That's so amazing. And so you gathered your friends together? Is that when you, Wendy and Diane and now Siggy, were started to contribute to this?
We all got involved. Diane and I worked together for 7 years. So I went into the office one day and I said, I want to do this big project. Nothing like I've ever really done before. And it's going to be a lot of work and we're not going to make any money. Do you want to do it?
Oh,
she just said yes right away.
I didn't even know what it was.
I was like, I think she'd heard me talking about going down to Catalyst, and she knew I was really stoked about it. And we'd sort of organized conferences together for work, so we knew that we did that okay, and we worked well together doing that. So and then Wendy was like, yes, and Siggy came on board, and it was great.
That's wonderful. Last year was the first one, and it was so much fun. I wasn't sure, because I didn't know who you were. You just emailed me and said, did I want to submit? And I'm like, I'm going to invite some cool people and go up and see how it is. And you put together an amazing event. It was so warm and so friendly, and I loved, the topics were really good, and people were giving really powerful talks. So I'm really glad you're running it again this year. What are the dates? Can you tell the listeners the dates?
Yeah, it's April 6th to 8th, 2018.
Yeah. So, and I'll be there, and a bunch of other people I know will be there. So it's going to be great. I really appreciate you just pulling that out and saying, no, this has to exist. Are you willing to share, why is this important to you? Why is the topic of sexuality and freedom and being able to talk about these things, why is that important to you?
Yeah, I think I come from such a different background. I'm an accountant, and it's not something I experienced a lot in my regular life, although maybe through the Burning Man culture was the first sort of sex positive space I really had access to. And it's such a small subculture, that group. And so I thought for me, that was a piece of it that was really important. And I saw that really lacking in other interactions. And once I started learning about the different kinds of sex educators that are out there and the different kinds of topics they have, it just runs the gamut, right? There's so much information, there's so much to talk about. And I just think it's so necessary for our health and well-being. It's such a small part of, even going to the doctor. Your doctors have little to no sex ed training, and you want to go to a sex positive practitioner. How do you even begin to find that out about them? Because people aren't talking about it.
No, there isn't. I remember going to my GYN and then asking about squirting, and she's like, no, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, I've done it. And she's like, no, it's a fallacy. It doesn't exist. And the G-spot doesn't exist either. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that, it was but she had all this education in the white coat, and it was really hard to talk to her about it.
Yeah, so we have to start talking about it ourselves, I guess, if we don't want to wait for, professionals to give us information. It's
so sad because there's all this pleasure and this connection we can be making with other people, with our bodies, and then we're not, because the information isn't there, and there's so much shame around it that people are afraid to even explore it. So I love that you're doing this and getting that out there. And as an engineer, I understand it's a totally different field, but it's so exciting to get to understand how our bodies work and how humans can connect with each other better.
Yeah, I think the two best compliments I heard after Converge the first time, one was someone, or more than one person said, we can't believe this is the first one. And I was like, oh good.
No, it was very smooth. I was surprised.
And then a few people were like, that was just life-changing. And I was like, whoa, okay. I thought it would be fun and we'd learn some stuff, but to actually say that it had a big impact on them felt really cool. So if we can do that for even one person, that's awesome.
And you did it for a lot more than one person. So, and they go home and they share it with other people, hopefully, or it starts rippling out, and That's wonderful that you're changing so many lives.
Yeah, the person who said that to me, that it was life changing, is like making their best friend fly from Toronto this year to go to it.
That's a long ways. That's great. Congratulations. Yeah, thanks, Kale, very much. If anyone has questions about ConvergeCon, go to ConvergeCon.Ca. And Kale and Wendy and Diane and Siggy, they're amazing people and very friendly, and I'm sure they'd be glad to help you find out more. So
yeah, definitely reach out. And we have a Facebook page as well,
yeah.
which you can find through the website. So that's where we're posting local things that are happening and talking about the speakers that are going to be coming once those are decided and everything. So, yeah. And I've started an Instagram.
Oh, how fun.
Brand new.
I'll have to go follow you.
You were one of the first people on it. We did short videos. So that is Converge Photos, I think. And so that's where we're posting little snippets of what we're up to on there, because I heard Instagram was the new thing to do, and I can sort of work it, so I'm trying.
I'll follow you and check it out. Thanks very much, Kale.
Thanks, Cathy.